Welcome to another installment of the AMSOIL Information Series. I'm Rob Stenberg, and with me today is Mr. Walt Sandbeck, Aggrand fertilizer specialist, and he's going to talk about and demonstrate how to apply Aggrand fertilizers. Walt, thanks for being here today.
Thank you for being here, Rob.
Appreciate it very much. Now, we've got a lot of different ways we can apply fertilizers. Why don't we start out right here with this 5-gallon bucket? What do I need to do?
Well, that's a very basic way of applying Aggrand products. Basically, you'll fill the bucket with the appropriate amount of water, and I've marked it off in gallons just so it's easier to mix accurately. Say 2 gallons of water, you'd mix approximately 4 ounces of most Aggrand products with 1 gallon of water. So in this case, a half a cup per gallon, and for 2 gallons, we'd mix a whole cup, two of these fertilizer, and stir it with a stick. And then you take the bucket over to your apple tree, your small new apple seedling, and pour it around the base, and that would be a fertilizer application, perhaps, or a couple of tomato trees even.
Do I need to saturate that area? How much product do I put on for an area like that?
Well, it kind of depends on the size of the tree. Sometimes you use, for a tree, you'd use the caliper, the diameter of the tree, to figure out how much to put on. For, say, a 1-inch diameter tree, a couple gallons at a time. Okay. For a bigger tree, 2 inches, maybe a 5-gallon bucket full at one time. And then for a couple of tomato plants, maybe 2 gallons.
All righty. So now let's say I don't have a 5-gallon bucket. I want a little bit easier way. I don't want to carry something so heavy. What's my next option? Yeah,
it's a little cumbersome. It might be more prudent to use a watering can in this case. Most watering cans, simple ones like these, are about 2 gallons, which for the appropriate amount of, say, Aggrand 433 NOF would be a whole cup. 4 ounces per gallon is a cup, or 8 ounces per 2 gallons. And then you take and mix it up again with the stick, and you would take and apply it to, say, a 5-foot row of plants, but enough of an area so you can thoroughly saturate the soil around and over the plants.
Okay, so that sounds like it's the key. Make sure that the ground is saturated with
it's not, you know, it's not complicated. It's just sort of you get the feel of it. You can kind of, you know, do it by the seat of your pants almost. Okay. And at the same time you're applying to the plant, you're also getting some on the leaves, which doesn't hurt because most Aggrand products can be absorbed through the leaves.
Okay, so now again, I would think if I set this down to go run another errand or something like that, I'd need to, when I come back, need to re-agitate it?
Good point, because it will settle out. There are solids in the Aggrand products, and so it's always best to keep a stir stick in whatever you're using. So yeah, before you use it again, just stir it up and ready to go.
Okay. Well, I know I've seen people applying fertilizer with their hoses. I take it we can do that with Aggrand as well?
Yeah, Aggrand offers a nifty little gadget called a hose end sprayer. It's a G1102 in the AMSOIL catalog, and it costs about $1.25. But basically, it's convenient because it turns the Aggrand fertilizer bottle, a quart, into an applicator. Nice. And you just hook it up to your hose. It has an on and off switch, and then when you're ready to go, the straw, in most cases, will suck the liquid out of the bottle at the appropriate rate. And for instance, a quart of this fertilizer will usually cover 5,000 square feet of lawn.
Oh, okay. Now, I do know as well that sometimes Aggrand gets a little bit thick. It might not flow. What should somebody do in that case?
It can be a problem. Aggrand's products are concentrated. And except for the liquid kelp and sulfate of potash, they're all pretty thick. So what we recommend in that case is that you just take the Aggrand, pour it in a container, a larger container, and then pour like an equal amount of water in the bottle and sloosh it around to get all the goodies out.
Sloosh it.
Yeah, and then pour that in there too. Mix it up, and then you can just funnel it back in, half at a time, and use it as you would until you've used it all up. Okay. And then you've got a normal fertilizer application. But it's simple. It never clogs once you've diluted it with water.
I have a feeling, though, you have a little bit of a tip for somebody who might not want to go through all of that.
Well, there are other ways to do it. And an AMSOIL dealer turned me on to a pretty neat way of taking care of the problem. Just get yourself a 2-liter pop bottle, wash it out, and you can add a quart of water and a quart of fertilizer to it. They'll both fit in a 2-liter bottle with room to spare. You stir it up.
Whoa!
Sorry, Rob. Good move. And this way, you eliminate the straw, which is usually where the problem lies. And so when you're ready to go and you have the hose attached, get it turned on and then turn it upside down. You'll lose a little maybe in the process of turning it, but the stream of water will basically apply the product at the appropriate dilution rate, and just use it all up, and that'll be like using up a quart of fertilizer.
Well, that's a great tip. Thanks for that one, and thanks for not
yeah,
spilling on me.
I'll be eternally grateful to that AMSOIL dealer for showing me that one.
Now, I've heard the term as well, foliar feeding. Can you tell me what that means, and what can I do to make sure that I'm doing it correctly?
Sure. Well, basically, any fertilizer solution, any liquid fertilizer solution, can be applied to the leaves of plants, and plants can absorb a certain amount of nutrients through their leaves. Because they do it through very small openings, they don't absorb a lot of nutrients through their leaves, but they can absorb them very quickly. So it's a good way to give a plant a nutrient boost or to address a nutrient deficiency when you see a problem with a crop or a garden crop.
All right, let's say we've got a larger area to cover. We've got maybe a crop, maybe corn or hay or wheat. How would I go about, what about larger areas like that for applications? Yeah,
I mean, the hose end sprayer is great for like maybe a couple 10,000 square feet of lawn or some such, or a small garden. But when you need to apply to a larger area, say a foliar application, you might use a backpack sprayer for several trees or part of an orchard, or you might use a field sprayer.
On the backpack sprayer, you just mix the solvent into the backpack and away you go. You spray it as you walk along?
Right, and it holds like up to 4 gallons. The backpack sprayer allows you to comfortably do a lot of foliar application.
Okay, and then for even larger than applications.
Yeah, for a field crop, for corn, wheat, barley, you'd need something called a field sprayer, and usually they have a tank, a water tank of various sizes mounted on a trailer. In this case, Aggrand has one that is a 55-gallon tank mounted on a trailer with a boom on the back that has a number of nozzles that can emit the fertilizer solution.
Sounds like that might be another video in the future for us.
I think it would be a great one.
Thanks a lot, Walt. Thanks for being here. Really appreciate it. Great tips, great information.
You're welcome, Rob. Nice for you to come.
For another AMSOIL information series, I'm Rob Stenberg. We'll see you next time.